YouTube. Today I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to talk about what is the best way, I believe, to eat vegan. I'm sure when coming to this lifestyle you find a lot of conflicting information, whether to follow one of the high carb, low fat based diets such as starch solution, 8-10-10, raw to 4, fully raw, or whether to be just vegan and eat whatever, basically, as long as it's vegan. So yeah, I'm just going to share my insights as to which I think is the best and what you should be following as a new vegan. Firstly, I'm going to say I am not against anyone who advocates either of these approaches. People who advocate high carb, low fat diets such as Freely, I honestly love and respect for the work that they have done to help people go vegan and recover from eating disorders and sustain a vegan lifestyle. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm going to talk about what I think the benefits of a high carb, low fat lifestyle are. Number one, I think a high carb, low fat lifestyle is really good for healing your phobia of carbs, and in that respect it can be good for helping improve your mental health and being more free with food. It's good for teaching you that carbs aren't going to hurt you and carbs are there to give you energy. Yeah, obviously carbs are meant to be the bulk of our diet, so in theory eating a high carb, low fat diet is what we need, but then obviously there are weaknesses of high carb, low fat as well. I'd say like a weakness of high carb, low fat is that there's like too much emphasis on keeping the fat really minimal and having like 10% or 5% fat in your diet. Unless you're eating a ridiculous number of calories, you're not going to get the essential fats or like the essential proteins if you're only having 5 or 10% protein in your diet. Protein, I think it's easier to get enough of eating like 5 to 10%, but fats, like, it's unlikely you're gonna get enough, and they are essential for health. And I think if you're restricting your fats, you're going to be more likely to turn back to eating non-vegan high-fat food because you want fatty food. So I think to stay a sustainable vegan in the long term, it's better to include more fats in your diet. That's just how I feel about it. The second weakness I'd say about high carb, low fat is that if you're like coming from an eating disorder, this can quite quickly turn into orthorexia, where you're only eating like raw fruits or raw vegetables, things that are low fat content, and you're like restricting your avocados, your nuts, your vegan junk food, when really there's no need to be. And especially if you come to this lifestyle in recovery from an eating disorder, I think the just vegan approach would be a lot better for you, like for your mental health, and yes, you can just fully heal really. So now I'm going to talk about just vegan. Well, the strengths of just vegan are that you get to eat whatever you want as long as you're vegan. It's so freeing just to be able to eat whatever. You're not harming animals, you're not having to constantly think about food, you're not being controlled by having to make set macro ratios. Just, it's going to be a lot easier to find things when you go out to eat. You'll be able to enjoy social times a lot more, eat with your family, and yeah, that's what I think the main benefit of just vegan is. It can also sometimes be healthier depending on how you're being just vegan. Like, if you're being just vegan and getting like the fats and the protein and the carbs you need in whatever ratio that is for you, then that's obviously a lot better than forcing yourself to eat 95-5 or 8-10-10 because someone told you to. The main weakness I think with just vegan is that it can give people like excuses to just live off of vegan junk food, which I think can put a lot of people off of veganism, because veganism is expensive. If you're living off of vegan junk food, like the price of vegan cheese in this country, like you know. And like Koyo is like so much for just like a tiny pot. Like if you're living off vegan junk food, obviously veganism's going to be expensive, and I think that's where people get this idea from. Whereas if you're eating high carb, low fat, like you can eat rice and beans and potatoes and bananas, and pasta, which are all fairly cheap foods. So financially, high carb, low fat may be better. And the second weakness, I think, with Just Vegan is that it can encourage people to eat like all junk food diets or not care about their health because they're just vegan and eating whatever the fuck they please. And yeah, it's obviously not going to be very good for them physically or mentally, and not going to help you be the best person that you can. So yeah, personally, I think, you know, there are pros and cons of both approaches, but I think on balance that like Just Vegan would be better because there's no strict rules about how to eat, what to eat, when to eat, you know, any of that, and it can just be so much more freeing and healthier as long as, you know, you're truly listening to your body and listening to like what works for you, what makes you feel good. And yeah, see you in my next video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and follow me on my other social medias. Links will be down in the description.